Welcome back to KaijuVFX, where today we are going to create the alien Mephilas teleportation effect, as seen in episode 5 of Zone Fighter Season 2, requested by Patreon supporter Jaws Infinity. Now, since this is a pretty basic level tutorial, we're going to go ahead and fly into this effect. First off, I want to take this opportunity to share some tips on blending your green screen stop motion figure elements into a live action environment. Mephilas here looks nice, but the white balance on the camera he was shot on varies from the scene itself. So by adding a lumetri color effect and playing with the white balance color temperature and tint, we can make him match the color temperature shot on location a bit better. And messing with the highlight and shadow settings to match the levels that were shot on location in the camera helps a great deal as well. It's the subtle effects that really help, like adding a key light effect and playing with the edge color correction, which also helps blend him in a bit with the shadows of the abandoned building. In addition, for this particular scene, we added a drop shadow effect to the Mephilas base. We played with the distance and softness and opacity, and all of that helped give him a more subtle physical presence in the environment as he casts a shadow on the wall behind him. Now that Mephilas is looking much more at home in this scene, let's get to the teleport. So for the purpose of this effect, we will be utilizing some free elements from my favorite stock footage provider and our affiliate, ACTIONVFX. Download the free spell hits pack from the link in the description and follow along. To start, I simply cut off the Mephilas layers when I want him to teleport, and I just simply added in some spell hits to the main areas of his body, making sure that his entire being was covered by the effect so that it appears as if his body is being dispersed into a set of particles. Using a combination of front-facing and side-facing effects, we had particles coming out of every possible place on Mephilas. Then I wanted to have a sort of glow form around Mephilas as he charges up his teleportation. I duplicated the base layer, deleted any other effects that were added in, and changed the blend mode to add. I added a VC color vibrance effect and changed the color to blue, threw some glow effects on top of that, playing with the radius and threshold, and then a radial fast blur. Now this is totally open to experimentation, and I fully encourage you to play around with this, on how much or little glow and blur that you want. I then animated the opacity of this layer, as well as keyframes for the glow thresholds and radiuses, and the radial blur amount, as the teleportation built up, eventually building into a blinding flash as Mephilas disappears. I then applied the same color vibrance and glow effects to the spell hits to give them the same blue alien energy to them. I also threw on a Gaussian blur to make them look a little less sharp and blend into the camera's quality better. Now at this point the effect looks good, but the actual environment isn't being at all affected by the teleportation. Now since we didn't have any lights on set to light up the environment as he teleports, I instead opted to go digitally and create an adjustment layer that I masked around the area that would be lit up by the glow and feathered it out a good deal. Here I used a curves adjustment to bring down the darkness of the shadows and brighten the highlights, and colored it blue so that it looks like it's being affected by the glow. Animating the opacity on this adjustment layer completed that part of the effect. And that's it! Just some simple steps that we've used in previous tutorials, plus some free effects that you can use for a variety of purposes, and some other miscellaneous tips. If you want to go a few steps further like I did, you can use paid third-party plugins like Trapcode Particular to add a withering set of particles that emit from the Mephilas layer, or use optical flares to add a cool realistic lens flare as he flashes away. But without those, you can still do this effect 100% for free, and it looks pretty nice. This general effect has tons of cool applications. The spell hit elements are especially diverse, from making energy waves to making beams dissipate, creating some cool sci-fi weapons, etc. So I hope you enjoyed this quick, easy breezy tutorial. I do want to say thank you to everyone who gave feedback regarding this quicker format of KaijuVFX videos, and I can definitely say that while this style can be a bit fun to edit for me, I can definitely see why many, including myself, seem to prefer the previous step-by-step live process. So the next set of tutorials that I have lined up will surely be in that style, but any quick and easy effects like this you may see this style return for. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys here next time. I would like to give thanks to all of this month's Patreon supporters, including Deadzilla, Goji73, Liquid Pestar, GWRzilla, Jeff King, Johnny Sacco, Ultriab, William Zorio, KaijuX, and that one Godzilla fan. If you want to see your name at the end of each of my videos as well, in addition to some other awesome rewards, then be sure to visit patreon.com/DaikaijuLegends.